What's going on? It's February 20th. I've got a ton of picks today. I'm going to be looking at the NBA and then college basketball. For a few days now, we didn't have any NBA action because of All-Star Weekend. So luckily now games are picking back up and we have a lot more picks on the agenda. So I'm going to be using reverse line movement when I look at these picks. If that concept is kind of new to you, then check out the description. I've got a little simple write-up summary of how it works, but also just keep watching and I'm going to explain exactly how it works. So this first game, for example, where we have the Nets versus the Raptors, you can see here these betting percentages, and these are just clicks, right? These are public bettors, and these are the amount of clicks going towards each outcome. So in this game, for example, 80% of the public clicked on the under, and then 20% clicked on the over. Now, reverse line movement happens when there's a difference of opinion between public bettors and then sharp bettors. The sharp bettors are the more knowledgeable bettors. They probably have a higher success rate for betting. They're kind of like the trusted henchmen for these bookmakers. But essentially what's going on here is that the line opened up for this game at over under 230.5, and this is the total score. And then the public really liked the under. And so, 80% of the clicks went towards the under. In a normal scenario, the bookmakers would adjust these odds to make the over look better so that they can have more of a 50-50 split. This just ensures that they're making a profit as well. But what the bookmakers are seeing is that the public loves one outcome, but then the sharp bettors really like the other outcome. So what bookmakers will do is they're going to adjust the odds to make this outcome look as good as they can. And really in their mindset, they're thinking, okay, if we can lump as many people in one category, and if this loses, then, they don't have to pay out 80% of those people. They only have to pay out 20%. So it's a profit move. And in this case, you can see that's exactly what happened. The line opened up at over under 230.5. People liked the under more. And then the line moved up 1 point to 231.5. And that's going to make the under look so much more appealing. You can tell here that they want the public to go with this outcome, and the sharp bettors are going with the other outcome. Now, this doesn't mean every single pick is going to be a winner, but whenever you do see reverse line movement, it's always best to go with the sharp bettors. So for this game, I would go with the over. We have the Magic Cavaliers, where the line opened up at 215.5. The public liked the under more, and then the line moved up half a point to 216, meaning the bookmakers want you to go with this outcome. So for this game, go with the over. For Pistons Pacers, this one's pretty close to 50-50, but from what I'm seeing so far, the line opened up, people liked the under, and then the line moved up 1 point. For this game, go with the over. The next game, so these it doesn't count for, but we have Clippers Thunder, where again, it's sort of close to 50-50 split right here, but the opening line was 239.5. The majority of the public clicks went towards the over, and then the line moved down to 238. So if people were already clicking on the over at 239.5, then at 238 they're going to be like, wait, this is a steal. Let me jump all over this, and that's what they want you to do. So for this game, I would go with the under. And then the last NBA game is going to be the Wizards and Nuggets. This is a pretty big differential here, 33-67. But the line opened up at 229.5. The public clicks went towards the under, and then it moved up 1 whole point to 230.5. And so, I expect this number to go up. I expect it to be close to 70% later in the day. So for this game, go with the over. I also have a ton of college basketball picks to cover as well. But one thing I want you to keep in mind is that it's best to hop on these picks as soon as you can, because eventually these lines are going to move so much to where you're at another disadvantage later on. So the timing of these is going to be important when you place your bet. So just make sure you put it, at your discretion. And just keep in mind that it's going to be a risk. So here is the college basketball rundown. And also, before I start real quick, if this is of any value to you, then make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to be bringing these daily. So make sure you tune in. So ton of college basketball. We're going to start with UCF and West Virginia. It opened up at 141.5. People liked the under, then it moved up a point, so go with the over. We have VCU, Massachusetts. The line opened up at 141.5. People love the under, and then the line moved up all the way to 144.5. So they want you to go with the under on this one. So go with the over. We have Miami, Ohio versus Western Michigan. Pretty close to 50-50, but it opened up at 140.5. People loved the under, and then it moved to 142.5, making the under way more appealing. So go with the over. We have Akron, Toledo, where it opened up at 149.5. The under was 60% of the public really liked the under, and then it moved up 1 whole point. And so in this case, it's clear reverse line movement. So go with the over. Let's see. Some of these it didn't really apply to, but I already did the research ahead of time. So I think the next game, let's see, I might have scrolled over it. It's going to be the St. Louis game. So 149, the under was favored, and then it bumped up to 151. So go with the over for this one. We have Iowa, Michigan State, where 73% of the people loved the under, and then the line moved up 1 whole point. So this game I would go with the over. We have Kent State, Ohio, where 75% of the public bettors really liked the over. It opened up at 148. Again, people jumped all over the over, and then they moved down 1 point, making the over look like a really, really good bet. And people are going to think it's a steal. They're going to want to put even more money on this. So it's clear reverse line movement. Go with the under. We have Eastern Michigan and Buffalo. It opened up at 143.5. People loved the under, and then it moved up 2 points to 145.5, making the people, really enticed to click on that under. So I would go with the over for this one. Boston College, Florida State, where it opened up at 151.5. The over was the public's majority opinion, and then it moved down to 150.5, making the over even more appealing. So go with the under. We have Ball State, Northern Illinois, where 80%, so a huge portion of those public bettors, went with the over, and it opened up at 146.5. And then people were loving that over, and then they moved it down. It's just crazy. I mean, they want 90% of everyone's money on one outcome, and they're gonna influence these lines as much as they can to get that. So for this game, I would go with the under. And then the last game that it applies to today, it's going to be Connecticut. Over-under was 144.5. People loved the under, and then it moved up 1 point, making the under look really appealing to the public. So, I have no doubt that this number is going to continue to rise up, but I would go with the over. So I scraped through all the other games. There was nothing else that it applied to. So that's going to wrap it up for the picks. If you have time on your hands, you can go through all the spreads as well. It works equally. And then it does work on Moneyline, but sometimes some of these odds, these are competitive odds, but like here, for example, I wouldn't really gamble on anything like that. So my personal preference is over-unders. For the spread, it works as well. And I'm going to be back tomorrow with another video. So again, if this is of value to you, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and tune in for daily reverse line movement picks. And that's it. I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.